At this point, if you're familiar with my channel, you will know just how much I love shoes. It is my shopping guilty pleasure and yeah, my major kryptonite. And I wanted to come at you with another video in my series, designer shoe dupes. I've said this so many times, but you do not need to spend designer prices to get a really chic, well-made shoe. So point of difference here is that all the shoes that I tend to share are made from leather as well. So they are good quality, they're just much more affordable and aren't going to be such a big hit on your bank account. I will also link some Amazon alternatives as well down in the description box too if you want to go and check those out. Let's get started with the very first pair of shoes, the Alaia mesh ballet flats. These have been everywhere, all over my Instagram, all over my TikTok. Very, very trendy and of course hard to get your hands on, both the original and the affordable alternatives, but I've got a few options for you if you still really love this style. I do also just want to highlight that I'm finding that the trend cycle is getting shorter and shorter. So longevity wise, you may find if you actually buy these now that they may not be something you want to wear next spring. So shop with caution. First pair are from Alaia. This is an Australian brand and I feel like they've done a pretty good job of injecting the vibe of the shoe into their own iteration. For me, the difference when I'm looking at the two styles is that the Alaia ones just look a little bit more refined. If you want something that feels like it's just taking light inspiration from the Alaia shoes, then I would recommend the style from ASOS. They have a pointed toe and then they are just more of a mule with a black ankle strap around the back. I think really, really chic. I also saw on Charles & Keith a style that is in that similar shape, but it's in a lace, and I thought that was quite a pretty option as well. In addition to the mesh ballet flat, Alaia also do a studded version. This is kind of just epitome of ugly shoe chic, and I saw that Sam Edelman have a really similar style. So a great way again to add in those more designer elements to your outfit, but without breaking the bank. The other brand doing this mesh ballet flat is The Row, and of course really high price point. I think they're around $1,300. You can get one that is premium but half the price from Dear France's. However, I found an even better alternative from UK high street favourite Kitten. These ones, I think they were £130, but I believe personally if I was looking at buying into this trend, this is going to be a best bet. These shoes look very delicate and I think they're going to get worn out very, very quickly. As someone who does actually own a pair of mesh style shoes, mine are from Gucci, I can actually say with confidence I know how these will wear. The actual mesh itself will lose its integrity quite quickly the more that you wear them, the more that you're walking in them. Ballet flats, you walk in them loads, so you're going to experience little holes, and I think these are going to be a lot more difficult for a cobbler to repair than a standard pair of ballet flats. So just something to think about if you have been eyeing up this trend. Let's keep on the ballet style shoe train. I have a few more pairs to share. First being these ones from Toteme, which are an incredible dupe for Chanel. Now, I have a friend who's got the actual Chanel version. I don't think the heel is quite so high, but you have that kind of toe cap detail and then the little strap around the ankle. These are such high quality shoes. I've purchased a few pairs from this brand and I've been really pleased with them all. The leather is really nice and soft too, so perfect if you've got wide feet. These are on sale. They also come in white with a black toe cap. Also, you have to forget the state of them, but my OG Chanel two-tone pump dupes are these ones here from Vanelli. I will have these linked down below, of course. I do also have another Chanel slingback dupe for you. These ones are from Marc Fisher. Again, their shoes are really, really comfortable and you can often find them on sale. The only key difference for me here is looking at them, the color seems to be peachier. It's got more of a pink undertone as opposed to that really yellowy undertone of the iconic Chanel style. Then the other kind of ballerina style we're seeing a lot of is the classic Mary Jane. And again, this kind of started with The Row. And I feel like the first brand that I really saw take inspiration from the style was 80. And again, this is actually more of a premium price point. So these are around the 500 Australian dollar mark, but they are a really beautiful shoe. I can speak to the fact that they are very comfortable as well, especially someone who does have wide feet. For me, they've been worth it, but I have actually found some really good alternatives that take inspiration from this. First up, we've got this pair here, which is from a brand called Air Label. These are 100% leather and they come in a few colors. I ordered them in the cream because I just thought that they would be a nice little contrast pop, especially with a neutral outfit. These are much stiffer than the 80 ones, so they don't really seem to hug my foot in the same way, but otherwise they are very, very similar, and they are, as I said before, well made, and they have the cushioning around the heel, which I really appreciate. It's going to be one of those things that helps to stop rubbing. If you are someone who does really shop with comfort in mind, then these ones here from Vivaya, these are called the Margot Mary Jane flats, I believe, are a nice alternative. They have that squared off toe, and these have a few few design details that sort of set them apart with the diamond shaped vamp, and then they also have the mesh strap. These are also cut really wide across the foot too. I actually got the ones that are specifically for people who have wider feet or shoes like bunions like I have. So these are a good one, and you can actually put these in the washing machine if they get dirty. I've done that many times with my shoes from Vivi and they always come out looking like new. Some other Mary Jane options that I have seen, bared footwear. I really love their take on this Mary Jane style. It actually has more of a pointed toe, which I think is very flattering, though I know that not everyone loves that sort of silhouette because it can have a tendency to pinch your feet a little bit or just run a little bit more on the narrow end of the spectrum. I can speak from experience that their shoes are actually really comfortable because they are sort of slightly orthotic styles, and these particular ones come in a few different colors as well. Sandal also does a really cute option which is quite affordable as well, but still being leather. Instead of the leather trim though around the edging, it does have a leather grosgrain ribbon trim, so that adds this really nice little element of subtle contrast. One more Mary Jane style before we move on. You can see this is such a trend piece at the moment, and other stories have a really sweet option. These have much more of a rounded toe, so it's going to give you a slightly different shape to those more squared off styles that we've seen previously. So a good option if you don't like a squared toe. Figured they would be one to recommend. Okay, let's move on to Hermes, and I feel like the Oran sandal is such a popular style. I've talked about dupes for these before, and more recently, at least in this past year, we've kind of seen the, is it Chypre sandal? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's kind of their take on a dad slide. And I've seen two brands that have done a really good alternative to this that is much more affordable. The first being Sam Edelman. My understanding is these are really comfortable as well, and they come in a few different colors. And then Australian brand Betts have a really similar option too that'll give you that designer look for less. I believe that the Hermes shoe is actually quite hard to get your hands on, or it could just be that maybe you want to trial the style before splurging on the real thing. So buying into something that gives you the same look is a great way to test it out and see if it's right for your personal style. The next shoe is a blend of two different design shoes, and I actually really like these. These are on my wish list, as are one of the original styles. This shoe is from Sam Edelman, and as soon as I put it on screen, if you're familiar with designer shoes, you'll know which shoe I'm talking about. The first being the iconic Manolo Blahnik Hangisi pump, which we all know was made famous by Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. But the other shoe style is Bottega Veneta, and I actually really love the actual silhouette of the shoe. I think Laura Piano does something very similar as well, but to me it just feels a little bit more modern, and I think the reason why I'm really drawn to these is it sort of feels like an entirely new silhouette that's drawing on elements that we're seeing elsewhere out there. So really chic, and a pair of shoes that you may end up seeing me wear sometime in the near future. I have two really great affordable alternatives to the Toteme boots. So this particular pair here I think is really iconic. It's a style that they do every single season with the Chelsea boot. The gusset is really high though, and I think that's the design element that makes these feel really quite special. And then of course you have the slight squared off toe. These are from Air Label and really affordable too. I think I saw them on sale a lot for around the $200 mark. And also similar vein, I've had these ones for a couple of years. These are the flat version and they are oh so comfortable. I wore these so much with straight leg jeans and also all my trousers over the winter time, and I could walk miles and miles in them. So again, I think these were around a similar price point and they came in a few different colors. The 90s are having a major revival, and one brand really seems to have been putting a lot of stock into this trend. It is Tony Bianco, and I swear so many of their new arrivals seem to be inspired by styles that we saw 3 decades ago. So first up, we've got the vintage Chanel rose strappy sandals. I saw these and I thought they were absolutely stunning. These would be beautiful if you had a special occasion coming up. Maybe you're a bride or you're going to a wedding, or you just want a pair of fancy shoes that have a really romantic feminine touch. I thought that the Tony Bianco ones were really cute and of course going to be so much more budget friendly. Then they had so many others that were inspired by, they've duped those vintage slingback Chanel heels with the bows on the sides, which again has that very iconic 90s shape. They've duped Dior slingbacks, Manolo, Blahnik, Versace. There are so many different brands they seem to have taken some pretty heavy inspiration from. So if you're kind of wanting to go back into that moment in time and not wanting to scour vintage resale sites to see if you can find the real deal, then it's a really good bet, and their shoes are all good quality leather styles. I wouldn't really call Reformation a designer brand, but it is more of a premium price point, and they have these really chic sandals that actually feel a little bit inspired by Chanel. They have these very thin straps across the foot and then also around the ankle. And I saw that Lemaire, which is kind of one of my favorite shoe brands to go to when I'm looking for designer dupes, they have something that is very similar. I will actually put on screen a photo of the Chanel shoes that I think that these are ever so slightly inspired by. Oh, and actually Lemaire have a few different styles that seem to be designer inspired right now. So first being those Manolo, Blahnik, the little ballerina slip-on slides. Again, you can see this trend really kind of coming through here. Their version is quite similar, but it feels maybe just a little bit less delicate than the designer ones. And actually, if you do like this style, another brand that you can check out is Flatted. Theirs are really beautiful, and I've heard that the leather on them is softer than the designer version. Then this is a little bit of an older style, but it's one that I see Jimmy Choo continue to bring out. They do these pointed toe glitter loafers with a ribbon bow across the foot. Lemaire have a version of this. It comes in a black glitter with a black bow, but then you can also get it in a white glitter and a red glitter with the black bow for the contrast element. These are a really fun shoe, I think, as we come into the festive season. These would be great to wear at home if you're hosting a bit of a dinner party. Not quite designer shoe territory, but more of a premium brand that I have seen that is really stunning is a brand called Nelson Made. Some of their styles seem to be a little bit inspired by the Row. And they have this really gorgeous strappy sandal that I've tried before, but their shoes are just a little bit too narrow for my feet personally. Then I saw that Air label had done a really similar style, so I did add this to cart, and I will say they are so comfortable. Again, you can get them on sale. I think I paid less than $100 for these. They look like this. I will show you a cutaway too, but they have a really nice kind of square flat heel, which is very walkable, and I like the fact that the straps actually are a little bit wider. They're tubular too, which is quite a fun detail, as it means you have additional support. And for me, at least, there is no concern in my mind that I'm going to find these uncomfortable. If you do want to look at other premium alternatives though, Basic has a really beautiful style, which is a bit more like this, but it has more of a stiletto heel, and the straps are really thin and dainty. A few more shoes, then we'll talk about bags. So next pair is a dupe for the Rudolph flats from Tibi. I actually really like these shoes, but unfortunately missed out on my size and the color that I like. Now these are kind of like a pointed toe ballerina flat with a strap across the foot as well, and they are slingback style, so open at the back. Though you can still wear them with a sock or with tights if you want. Lemaire also have a really good alternative to these, and I really like the burgundy gloss. I just think they're so pretty, and that rich color perfect for the kind of autumn winter season. Tibi also have this sandal, which I think it's called the Byron, and it's knotted and it has kind of a thicker flat sole. Tony have a style that is very similar to this. It does have more of a flat form to it, and I think that the straps are in a scuba, so to me this means that they are going to read as being a very comfortable shoe. And again, a really good alternative, and one that will save you a lot of money, but you'll still get that same kind of a look. The final pair of shoes that I wanted to touch on is a dupe for the Marni Fussbet sandals. I feel like these had such a moment. I've definitely shared some alternatives before. Air label having a really good option, definitely being one that I would look to, but there are a few other brands that have taken inspiration from this. So one being the Bali Tailor. Theirs look really similar, and personally I love that kind of black on black look. I think it is really seamless and very chic. And then of course we've got Joe Mercer as well. So two Australian shoe brands that I think do really high quality options, but you're not breaking the bank to sort of add these into your regular rotation. Then let's briefly talk bags, and I have to say I think one of the bags that I get asked about the most out of all of the ones that I have whenever I wear it is the Lemaire croissant bag. Now I have found a few alternatives to this. I would say that there is one on Etsy which is really similar, and it comes in a lot of different colors. Pos do kind of their road dupe, which I think will give you that same sort of vibe. It's their kind of banana bag dupe. Very chic. And then if you want something that is more on the affordable end of the spectrum, you're not worried whether it's leather or not, Uniqlo do a really good sling bag style, and that is a great one if you need something that's more practical. Maybe you want to wear it traveling, or you just want some fun colors. I think it's brilliant, and I actually already own it, and it's under $20. Final item I wanted to share an alternative for is the Celine Trio. Now this is a bag that was released a long time ago, Phoebe Philo era, and unfortunately the only way to kind of get your hands on this style now is the pre-loved market. I have a bag in my collection which is, to me, it is a premium brand, but it's completely underrated. It's not designer, and it gives you that same sort of look. It is the Tilly's Big Sis bag from Sabin. When you look at it from front on, it might look a little bit different, and that is because it doesn't have the 3 pouches from the top, but the second you open up, it actually has that same functionality. So you've got the pouch at the back, the pouch at the front, and then you also have 2 card holder slots and then another little pouch in the center. So I really love that about it. It is really easy to adjust the strap on it. You can adorn it with a little chain straps as well, like I've done here. But I think if you really, really love this, this is a great option, and it isn't a grained leather, so it is really durable, hard wearing as well. I haven't got a single scratch on mine. I'm planning to do a full review on this on my blog too, in case you were curious and want to know a little bit more information about it. So there you have it, another bunch of designer shoe dupes. I always love filming these videos. They're really, really fun to put together, and honestly, I actually have so many more that I could share with you, but I know this video would be way too long. I will have everything that I share with you listed down in the description box below. I hope that you found this useful, and if you have any other dupes that you want to share for any of the styles that I featured, I would love if you could pop them in the comments so that people can kind of look at some other alternatives in case some of the styles that I shared today aren't easily accessible where you live in the world. Anyway, thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I'm always so grateful. It means the world. If you are new here and you want to see more videos like this from me, I'd love for you to subscribe, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon. Bye.